PvE Sorcerer Healer for Beginners. Put all 64 attribute points into Magicka. For the Restoration Staff front bar, put on Radiating Regeneration, Dark Conversion, alternatively swap Dark Conversion for the Meta Crystal weapon, but it's harder to use. Energy Orb from the Undaunted skill line, Combat Prayer, your most important heal, Illustrious Healing, the longer duration morph. Front bar ultimate is Replenishing Barrier. We're just using it for the Magicka aid passive under the support skill line for more sustain, so don't actually cast it. For the back bar Destruction Staff, put on Elemental Blockade, the longer duration morph, Echoing Vigor from the Alliance skill line, Lightning Flood, Power Surge. Alternatively to Power Surge, you could run Ring of Preservation if you want better but harder to use healing, and Overflowing Altar. Back bar ultimate is Aggressive Warhorn for Major Force. Some groups may ask you to run Charged Atronach for Major Berserk. For the monster set, obtain Sentinel of Rakugums, which is base game and easy to obtain. It increases your healing and helps with sustain. You'll need to run Darkshade Caverns 1 Veteran for the headpiece. Join a guild and ask your guildmates for help if you're having trouble. Note that if you decide to run with more advanced groups, the monster helm will vary based on group needs. For the body, obtain the Spell Power Cure set, which gives you and your group major courage, increasing damage and healing done. It drops in the White Gold Tower DLC dungeon. Healing a target that is at full health, known as overhealing, will apply the buff. Ideally make all your body pieces, including the monster set, Divine Trait. Use max Magicka enchants on all body pieces. For the jewelry and the back bar Destruction Staff, obtain Powerful Assault. This set is easy to obtain. You can buy it from guild traders. We're just back barring Powerful Assault and using the Vigor skill to proc it. Jewelry traits should be all infused with reduced spell cost and chance. This will make it easy to sustain your Magicka. An infused lightning staff is the back bar. The enchantment can vary. Here, I recommend Crusher so that you can help your group do more damage. Ideally, the powerful assault staff is lightning so that you can help proc the off-balance debuff on enemies. Damage dealers often run the Exploiter champion point, which does a lot of damage if you proc off balance. Finally, for the front bar, obtain the Master's Restoration Staff from Dragonstar Arena, which helps your group sustain. Use Powered as the trait for more healing, and Berserker, aka weapon damage, as the enchant, which will also increase your healing. The staff does not need to be the perfected version. If the Master's Staff is too difficult for you to obtain, you can buy a Restoration Staff of the Trainee from a guild trader, which will serve as a placeholder until you can obtain the Master's Staff. A crafted Restoration Staff, such as Order's Wrath, would also work. If Spell Power Cure isn't available to you, the Olarim set from Cloudrest gives the same buff, but is a little trickier to use. If neither set is available to you, two crafted sets like Order's Wrath or Juliana's can serve as placeholders until you can obtain SPC or whatever you're missing. Use the Ritual Mundus to increase your healing. The gear body pieces are all traded divines to boost healing further. For champion points, our three main blue slottables for healer are Soothing Tide, Rejuvenator, and Swift Renewal. The fourth slot is a flex. Typically it's Enlivening Overflow or From the Brink. For red slottables, use Boundless Vitality, Rejuvenation, Expert Evasion, and Celerity. The only green slottable that matters is Steed's Blessing. If you can't afford 50 points into a slottable, just put 10 points into each for now until you can obtain them all. The buff food is Artean Pickled Fish for max mag and health. It's available at guild traders. Play any race you want. I usually go Breton on my healers as I like the additional Magicka sustain. However, this one is a Khajiit for roleplay purposes. The basics of how to use the Sorcerer Healer. Combat Prayer is your emergency heal. If someone is in trouble, spam this until they're okay. Think of it as your main heal or burst heal. It also buffs your group with minor berserk, so cast it at least once every 10 seconds. Radiating Regeneration is your cheap spammable. Use this skill whenever your other skills are still active and nothing needs to be reapplied. It's a sticky heal over time, or hot, so it hits players without you having to aim it, useful when a group's in motion. Dark Conversion is used as an easy way to proc the Exploitation passive under Dark Magic. Exploitation is a buff unique to sorcerers that gives minor prophecy, increasing your group's damage. Alternatively, you could flex Dark Conversion with the more meta Crystal weapon to proc Exploitation. However, using this ability requires Light Attack Weaving. Light Attack Weaving is done in the manner being shown now, where you light attack, ability, and then pause, with the pause being the global cooldown of the skills. The cooldown is about 1 second and can be visualized with Combat Metronome on my screen. Note that we don't actually use Crystal Weapon as a spammable like I'm doing for this example. In actual content, you would light attack weave before every skill all the time, casting Crystal Weapon once and proccing it on the weave for the next skill in your rotation. If this seems too complicated, Dark Conversion is just fine. Illustrious Healing, Energy Orb, and Vigor are your main HOTS. Keep them on group and keep them up on cooldown, don't let them fall off for very long. Vigor is used on backbar to proc Powerful Assault, but you need to cast Vigor twice in a row for full group coverage if it's a group of 12. Let Vigor fall off for a moment before recasting so that the smart targeting of Powerful Assault works properly. Elemental Blockade combined with the Infused Destruction Staff helps proc her enchant and keep it active. If it's a Shock Staff, the skill will also help proc off balance on enemies. Lightning Flood is used to give your group a damage dealing synergy. Power Surge is an easy to use class heal that lasts a while. It has an unfortunate 3-second cooldown which makes the skill less than ideal. I've suggested this skill because it's easy for beginners to manage. If you want a better healing ability, you could flex Power Surge with Ring of Preservation. However, this ability takes a bit more skill due to its expensive stamina cost and short duration. Overflowing Altar gives a synergy to a player that is about to die that will save their life. Aggressive Warhorn is the ultimate to use in combat for major force, which increases group damage by a lot. You may be asked to flex this spot for charged Atronach if the group needs you to supply major Berserk. The group is safer when it can end threats quickly rather than having to manage them for a long time, so damage increasing ultimates are the best choice.